Hello everyone, welcome to my channel today. I am so excited to talk about flying or traveling with a hearing loss today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Emily. I have a bilateral, moderate to severe hearing loss, which means I wear hearing aids in both ears. I've had this hearing loss since birth as it is genetic. I'm so glad that I am able to wear hearing aids to kind of bridge that hearing gap, and wearing hearing aids and speech therapy and my amazing parent have enabled me to be able to speak really well and to be able to be successful in life. So I created this channel to encourage other hard of hearing and deaf people to make the most of life and increase awareness for everyone across the board, for hard of hearing and deaf people for themselves and for people around them to be aware of ways that they can help them as well. So I am so glad you're here. As a part of my video today, I hope you stick around to the end, because at the end of this video, I'm going to share my favorite airline and why they are my favorite. I love flying with this airline. They are the best, hands down, in my opinion, for multiple reasons. They just don't compare with any other airline. So the video today of flying with a hearing loss is pretty general. It's gonna share just if you're flying with a hearing loss, in general, just things to keep an eye out for and ways to be prepared so that as you travel, you feel comfortable and in control. At the end of this video, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I love building my definite hearing community because as this community builds, we increase awareness for the deaf and hard of hearing, and we make a positive impact in the world around us. So please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. The Air Carrier Access Act was passed in 1986. 1986 is when that bill was passed to make air travel accessible for everyone, and especially people with disability, specifically deafness and blindness. It's been a while, but airlines still have a long way to go. But when you have the majority of people being hearing people setting up the rules and regulations and the way processes and systems work, of course there's going to be some discrepancies. And so here's what you can do to make your travel the most enjoyable or least stressful as a deaf or hard of hearing person. A great trip starts before your trip starts. As you book your trip, you'll want to look for a field that asks you to self-identify if you have any disabilities or special service requests. These SSRs are important as airlines require 24 hours of notice in order to facilitate any services that may be required for a person with disabilities. Selecting this box just is a way for you to self-identify that you have a disability or that you have something that may need extra assistance. But as you book your flights, be on the lookout for that checkbox. And if you don't see it, reach out to the airline and let them know through email, through a phone call, direct messaging, or even a tweet. Once you've notified the airlines, you want to put together your hearing aid travel kit. What this includes is just various things that as you're away from home, you will be able to survive with your hearing aids. Because I've had this happen to me before where I've gone on a trip and I did not have any hearing aid batteries. And so we had to run to the store and the batteries were like twice as expensive, not to mention having to get to the store with a dead battery, and it's already not planned for. It's just stressful. So you want to make sure that you have kind of a hearing aid survival kit when you go on your trip. And the things to include in that kit are your batteries or your hearing aid chargers, your dry aid kit in case your hearing aid gets wet, hearing aid cleaning items, and number 5, your hearing or ear accessories. This could be a Roger mic so that they can plug it into the video device that's in the plane seat to be able to stream the video audio straight from the video to their ears. It's pretty cool. Headphones or earplugs. It's whatever you think you'll want for your ears other than your hearing aids during your travel. So when you're going on a flight, you have to drive to the airport, park, go through security, arrive at the gate, get on the plane, and things like that. So I don't want to stress you out, but it's important to anticipate scenarios. And if someone starts talking, I'm going to listen to them. If I don't hear what they say, I'm going to ask them to repeat it. I'm going to try again. If that doesn't work, you pull out a transcription app or a pen and paper. It's just good to anticipate so you have a plan when it happens and you're not stressed out, because travel is already a high stress situation for everyone. So go in with a game plan. So imagine you've arrived at the airport and now you're going through security. I recently went through security, and with the new coronavirus restrictions in place, everyone has to wear a mask. When you go up to security, you usually wait in line before you go through all of the scanners and stuff. And there is a security guard sitting right there that will check your plane ticket and that it matches your government identification. It's really funny, but I was standing there and they called me up. They usually signal and wave. Again, be aware, anticipate situations. If you're next in line, look up, be aware. And when you see someone wave towards you, go towards them they are going to look at your ID and they're going to look at your ticket, and they are most likely going to ask you to remove your mask so that it can see your face and confirm that you are indeed the face that matches in the picture. I thought this was really interesting. The first time I went through security, I had a double take because I thought that's what they said, please remove your mask. But I was like, there's no way they're asking me to remove my mask right now. And so I said, what? And they said, please remove your mask. And I said, you want me to remove my mask? Because I was just so confused. Like, why would you ask me to remove my mask? But they do that. So be aware of that. So they ask you to remove your mask, you remove it, you put it back on. Just be aware, anticipate that that could be a possibility when you go through security. And then once you go through security, just be aware of what is and is not allowed in your bag. This includes electronics bigger than a cell phone need to be packed separately. Just be aware of all those guidelines at your local airport, because if you make a carry-on or you just make sure you're not wearing anything that has any issues, then you can just avoid any, I don't want to call them confrontations, but you can avoid anything with having to deal with TSA and people talking, and it's just already high stress and they're stressed too. And when they give you instructions and you have to ask what, and then it's just bad. So make sure you're ready for security. Make sure you know those guidelines. Be prepared. Be ready to be flexible. Don't be worried to say what, and don't be afraid to just say, I'm so sorry, I'm hard of hearing. And if you're super apologetic and understanding, it just goes smoother. Once you get through security, make sure you gather all your things, make sure you didn't drop anything, make sure you picked everything up. It's really easy to forget things because, like all of us, once we're through security, we are out of there. So next up, you're gonna head to your gate. Once you get to the gate, approach the gate agent and make sure that they have your SSR or your special service request documented in their paperwork. You can choose to sit down and pay attention to the video boards, or you can let them know where you're going to sit so that when it's time to board, they can physically come over and make sure you are ready to go. Because it's so easy to get distracted on a device or fall asleep or something like that while you're waiting for your flight and miss those announcements. So do whatever you feel is best for you, but it's always good to go check in and let them know that you're there. At that time, the gate agent will most likely ask you if you need any other special accommodations. If you do, feel free to ask during that time. As you're waiting to board the plane, make sure you pay attention to the video boards. They should be there and should have captions according to the Air Carrier Access Act. If they're not, you can file a complaint with the U.S. Department of Transportation. But that's just a long story. As you're boarding, this also comes up with anticipate your travel experiences, I guess. Just know that you will need to have your ticket out and ready. So when you have your ticket out and ready, you just go ahead and board. As you board the plane, go ahead and if you see any flight attendants, just stop them and let them know, hey, I am the individual with hearing loss on board. So in the case of an emergency, at least someone on board will be aware of the fact that you have a hearing loss. Flight attendants are usually pretty good about watching out for people. Once you're on board the plane, this brings up a whole new hearing environment. It's hard to hear the announcements from the captain, from the flight attendant, and during the flight safety presentation. If your plane's new enough, your safety presentation should have captions. If not, there should be a safety card in the seat in front of you. Go ahead and review that. Once you're on the plane, sit back, relax, and enjoy. And I hope that if your flight has videos and like various media available, that there are captions with that. For the flights that I've gone on that offer video services, captions aren't available for all movies, but there are some that are available. And if the flight attendant and captain announce something and you don't hear it, don't be afraid to push the button above you that calls a flight attendant. They should be able to come up to you and explain what they just announced. Thankfully, most light indicators with the bathroom light and the seatbelt light are very helpful. All right, once you arrived to your destination, just follow the flow of traffic and everything else. When I was flying not too long ago, when we landed, the airline sent me a text with instructions. I was amazed. I don't know if this is a new thing that they're implementing because they know that people are deaf or hard of hearing, but it was just an instruction saying that, like, due to COVID restrictions, please make sure that you stay seated in your seat until the customer in front of you has moved 6 feet away and is deplaning. I thought this was so cool because, man, if they could text all their announcements through the whole flight or something like that, it would be really genius. So that may be something that's coming. I hope it's not temporary, but the airline that I was on was using that. So there you have it. With your hearing device emergency kit, you should be good for the rest of your trip. I hope that these flight tips helped you. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and know that flying with a hearing loss can be scary, but just remember, as you prepare and you anticipate scenarios and you're calm and patient, it will go well. It will go well. Most people, the majority of people, are there to help, and gate agents and flight attendants and pilots usually have these positions because they are nice, kind people and they want to help. All right, you stuck around to the end of this video. I want to share the name of my favorite airline. My favorite airline, hands down, is Delta. Delta is amazing. And so here's why. I'll get the first biggest one out of the way. I have a peanut allergy, and even before COVID, Delta would clean the planes really well, and they would allow me to get on and wipe my seat and make sure everything was clean, and then they would make announcements and all of that. So from a peanut allergy standpoint, Delta's amazing. There's nothing like getting on a plane and feeling like, okay, I'm going to live through this flight. Two, I love it because of their accessibility that they have in place. A lot of the Delta planes have video monitors in the backs of the seats, and those are captioned. So they caption the safety presentation at the beginning of the flight, and then they have captioned media. And what I mean by this is video. So if you go to videos, you can filter for closed caption videos and pick a video from there. So I love that because I can either plug my headphones in, or I can plug my Roger mic in, or I can just listen in silence. But regardless, I can have my captions running through all of those videos, which is awesome. So I love Delta. They never cease to impress me, and they are so good in terms of like the disability service side of things from what I have experienced. So I highly recommend Delta. Their tickets usually are more, but they have great rewards programs. So shout out to Delta. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions about traveling or flying with a hearing loss, please let me know in the comments below. And just remember, when you're prepared, you'll do great. And I know that you will enjoy your trip. Have such a fun time. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel. When you like and subscribe, you contribute to the definite hearing community, and I am so grateful you are a part of it. I look forward to making more great videos, and I hope you look forward to your next flight. You're gonna have so much fun because you know what to expect and what to anticipate. It'll be wonderful. Have a great day.